Hey, welcome to the Soul Pod. This is Stacy. This video is for you if you've ever gotten into, or maybe you currently are in, a spiritual rut. You know that where your positive juices just aren't flowing. You just can't quite get into that zone that you're used to being in. That makes you happy and joyful and more upbeat. And you feel that ripple starting to happen. So today we're going to talk about what causes it. Uh, how you can reset and how to really kind of avoid getting back into it again. Okay, so you ready? Let's do this. So what causes it? The causes the big thing. Um, lack of connection, burnout, stress, anxiety, uh, unrealistic expectations, life changes, um, lack of reflection time, stillness. Okay, so these are all just a bunch of words. Let's talk about each one of them. Um, Starting with burnout, like when you're working too hard, when you're parenting too hard, when you're not giving yourself enough time to take care of this, that can get you there. It creates a barrier between us, your happy heart space, and the rest of, being able to actually get to that. There's a barrier between our world and getting to that. uh, so like burnout can do it whether it's work, and sometimes with work it's simply just not liking your job and having that internal voice saying, man, something's got to change, this doesn't work for me anymore. That's a bigger topic. That's something good for a counselor or a coach to work with you on, because that means something needs to shift. But that can definitely be a good symptom of it. Lack of connection is another big one. When we're not getting out and about and feeling connected with people, like the happier I get with me, the more of an introvert I become. So I have to actually program in social stuff weekly. Like every Thursday, I go out and I do trivia with a group of friends just to make sure that I'm actually getting out of the house, because I'm very content being with me. But it also can cause that rut, right? Where you're not getting enough social connection. You can get that rut going. Unresolved emotions are another big one. If you feel like you're in a rut and you don't know why, it might be good to stop and ask yourself, like, okay, what's been on my mind a lot this week? And frequently, if you just sit down and just free flow right into your journal or something, what's been bugging me, and just don't block yourself, just write. It'll pop up, and then you can go, oh, that's that thing I haven't resolved. I haven't worked on that. And again, you know, uh, a counselor or coach or somebody can work with you on that to get you to the next level, figure out what that is and break through it. Uh, but when we're not resolving those things, that can get in the way of our progress, can get in the way of us moving forward, because there's an internal block that's letting us know, whether we know it or not, that we can't get to that until we get over this. See what I'm saying? So there's other things as well. As I mentioned, uh, unrealistic expectations is a thing. Sometimes if we were expecting certain outcomes and we don't get them, maybe it's in a relationship or in work or in whatever, um, our internal voice telling us a story. That's all it takes. So there's all sorts of things like this. Life changes. Maybe you just moved to a new city. Maybe you lost somebody important in your life in one way or another. These are important things too. Again, coach, counselor, both those things are really good to help you kind of process these things and figure out how to get back to how to get back to your happy space without getting into all these big things. If you're just having a minor rut, like I had today I had a minor rut. I like to be in the right headspace when I do these videos, and I've made a commitment to myself to do a certain number of these videos each week. And when I'm not hitting that number, I put pressure on myself. But I'm not in the right spiritual headspace to be doing videos like this. And I thought, well, that's a really good topic, because I had to get in a good spiritual headspace. So I'm going to give you quick shortcuts to get there quickly. And these may not resolve some of the bigger issues I've talked about, but they will help you get there pretty quickly. My favorite one is appreciation. Just sitting silently, preferably outdoors, and just appreciating, just having an appreciation for the moment, for the life you're living, for this body that you're in, that it is still above ground, that you have the lovely people that you have in your life. Uh, if you don't want to go through that process, you don't have a process that you use, I can drop into it really quickly because I've done a lot of work around it. They're great self-paced meditations also, some great meditation apps. A lot of great free meditation apps out there. Download one, search gratitude, boom, there's really good stuff out there, and that'll help you reset. But if you're used to doing it, it's really easy to just sit with yourself and have some appreciation for that beautiful thing, whatever it happens to be. Maybe it's the smile on your pet's face, maybe it's the smell of whatever's cooking. Maybe it's the wildflowers in your front yard. Maybe it's the sunny sky of today. There's a billion things to be happy for. The fact that you're still breathing is a big one, a really big one. And that, you've had the adventures that you've had in your life, whether they were always pleasant or not, doesn't matter. You've had a once in a lifetime journey. So appreciation is a big one. Uh, Another really good one for me is grounding. Science has shown, it's so funny how often, we come up with these spiritual woo woo kind of things. You're like, wow, that kind of works. Being out in nature and having my shoes off on sand or grass or something, sure makes me feel good. And then they, do brain scans, and oh, it turns out actually that does flip a switch in our brains. We're wired to be close to the earth. We've spent the vast majority of our evolution being incredibly close to the earth, being outdoors. So when you take off your shoes and you stand in the grass, you stand on the sand, you walk around outside, you feel a little bit dirty. You ever been to the beach and you just dig your toes in the sand and there's that feeling? You're just releasing all these beautiful chemicals in your body because you're connecting with this thing that you are a part of, the earth. The earth, we're all part of nature, but we forget. So grounding is another really great one. And then of course there's meditation. If you don't meditate, again, use one of these great meditation apps out there. There's plenty of them that are free to download, and have some, there are at least two that I'm aware of that have thousands of free meditations on them. So the non-paid version of them are still very good. If not, you can also find, if you don't want to download an app, you can also find one online. So if you don't meditate, I can certainly point you in the right direction to find some good ways to learn to start meditating. It's just something about just getting there. And if you do meditate and you're like me and you sometimes don't do it consistently enough, start meditating. Just sit, be with yourself, enjoy this lovely moment with yourself. So now the important thing to remember is, once you get back out of that rut, stay out of that rut. And there's a lot of great ways to do that. You can some of the things you can do to avoid falling back into it is like focusing on your physical health. Every time you do something good for your body, whether it's working out or getting exercise, eating right, you're sending this message to your inner self that reinforces the love you have for yourself. It's an unspoken message to your soul. I want this journey to continue. I want to continue having this wonderful adventure, this life. And so it's that little subtle message really does make a big difference. So eat right, take care of yourself, all these things. Change things up. Change things up is another really good one. When you're in a rut, it's probably because oftentimes because you're not really changing things up. You're not doing things that are all that different. Like I said, I sometimes I've programmed it in my week going out with friends every Thursday to do trivia, which is fun. But every now and then I'll just not go, and I'll intentionally do something different that day because it starts getting a little bit wash, rinse, repeat. Like it's the same old, same old. And you don't want anything to become the same old, same old. Life is meant to be explored, adventured. You're supposed to get out there. It's supposed to be experiential, right? So experience it. Try new things. You ever notice the burst you get from trying new things? Get out of your comfort zone a little bit, And then you can also, to help yourself stay out of this rut, process emotions. Process those emotions that you wrote in the journal. Find a good coach. Find a good counselor. If you have a counselor, great. If you have a coach, great. If you don't have a coach or counselor and you want to do some work around that, use the link in the show notes below. Set a 30-minute discovery call with me. If we're a fit, I can work with you and help you figure out how to get out of that rut, stay out of that rut, and process emotions for that matter. So if you're listening to this and you don't know what a spiritual rut is, like, I've fallen out of my happy space, that's actually good news because that means you haven't found your happy space yet. That means that you can be happier than you are. People I'm talking to are the ones who found that spot that, man, when you're in that spiritual happy space, it is so nice. It's, we talk about finding happiness. it's a higher level of that. It's more like a joy thing. It's just a couple levels up, and it's sort of leveling up to the next level of this particular game of life. And so, if you don't know what I'm talking about with this rut, then you've got some work to do. But when you get there, you're going to find that actually you can be happier than you are now. And again, if you need help with that, find a good counselor, find a good coach. They can help you get to that next level. Thanks for being here, and thanks for watching the channel. If you haven't checked out the Soul Podcast yet, check it out. I'll share a link in the show notes. It's a great podcast. Talks about a lot of the stuff we talk about here, but goes into even deeper dives on some of these topics and talks about ways to really find more joy in your life. Thanks for being here. I'll see you on the next video.